Is That Podcast. I'm your host, Jess.
I'm Jen.
We are in a new pod lab that I created.
Yes, you did.
By being chaotic and moving furniture by myself.
Yeah, your ADHD hit hard this week.
I moved so much furniture in the last week. I rearranged like 3 rooms.
This started like Friday last week.
Yeah, about a week ago.
Yeah.
It looks good though.
It does, but it's just, oh my gosh, so much chaos.
I moved out a whole kitchen table. It's like a solid table. It's heavy. I probably shouldn't have moved it by myself.
Probably not.
But I did it.
If only you could see the pride she has on her face right now. I did it.
It was fucking worth it. Do you know how many times I had to rearrange these chairs to figure out our configuration? So many times.
Why? You could tell they wouldn't fit that way.
I had ideas, okay?
Like what?
So the issue was I needed these 4 specific things to fit. I needed the chairs to fit, I needed the table to fit, and I needed the garbage can to fit.
Yes.
And I didn't want the garbage can to be in a way that you could see it from the front door.
God forbid you see a trash can the first thing you walk through the door.
Yes, I don't like that.
Because that's the first thing you see.
Yes, it is for me.
Not the giant dog jumping on you.
No. I see the trash can every time and it drives me fucking insane.
God. Okay.
So that had to be out of the way, and then I needed the table so that way I still had storage for stuff. And so I thought about, like, putting the chair where it is now and then moving another one to, like, this corner here and then putting the table here. And then it was just, like, a little too tight.
Yeah.
So I settled on this.
I would have assumed you did it this way in the first place.
That's where you would be wrong.
Apparently.
You think I went with logic? You silly goose.
That's also very true.
That's
why
on
am I surprised?
you.
Yeah, why am I surprised by this?
Well, originally what I wanted to do was do them, like, face to face like this.
Yeah.
And I thought my measurements were right, but they weren't.
No,
like, it was just
hun.
an uncomfortable amount of space.
Hun.
And I was like, unless we want our knees touching while we're recording, that's probably not the best position for the chairs.
Honey, when you started describing how you thought of how it should go in the first place, my mind immediately drew it up and said, no. Absolutely not.
My girl math wasn't mathing at the time. I was just
apparently
on an ADHD high of I get to rearrange furniture, which is my favorite activity. But yeah, so we have this whole new pod lab set up. So I found these really cute acoustic tiles on Amazon. And they would be perfect for our pod lab. And if you are a really rad person and you would like to help us out and purchase stuff for the podcast,
that I have yet to see.
You can go to our Linktree, which is on our Instagram. And if you don't know our Instagram, it's WTF is that pod. You can find all of our fun announcements for upcoming shows. Over there you have our Linktree, and our Linktree has links to our Patreon, links to our Spotify, all of that good stuff is over there. Links to where you can submit your campfire stories.
Oh my god.
Which, if you haven't submitted a campfire story yet, why not?
Wow, that was aggressive. I was not prepared for that type of announcement.
I almost forgot, and I was determined to add it in there, and I usually write in my notes when I want to add extra things to it, and I almost forgot, and I got excited that I remembered. I'm sorry I scared you.
Yeah, so go submit a campfire story. That's how excited Jessica is.
It's spooky season. I can't help but be excited. Hey, Jen.
Hey, Jess.
Do you know about Creepypasta?
What the fuck is Creepypasta?
Thanks for asking. I would love to tell you.
You're so polite.
I know. I'm so kind. Well, so creepypasta is a type of story that took over the internet. It's essentially creepy horror stories, but the kicker is that they have to be believable.
Okay.
So they have to have some level of anonymity.
Uh-huh.
And real life, and also not really, like, giving an ending.
So, cliffhangers.
Just leaving it open for interpretation.
I don't like those.
Those are my favorite kinds.
No, I need an end.
But it's wild, because they are just, like, creepy things that you're supposed to believe these actually happen to people. They're written as, like, little short text wells. So think Tumblr. They're just short post things.
Okay.
Some of them can get longer.
Uh-huh.
But there are just some that are a 2-minute read. These started either in the late 90s or the early 2000s. No one's really sure. But the whole point of a creepypasta was that you would copy and paste the story over multiple places in the internet anonymously.
So is that why it's called creepypasta?
Yeah, because it's supposed to be like copy and paste.
Okay.
Creepypasta.
Gotcha.
I'm so glad you put that together, because I read that and I was like, that makes perfect fucking sense.
Did you not think of that on your own?
No, I read it in the article. Well, okay, so after they explained, like, this is how it was meant to be. It was meant to be like a copy-paste story over and over. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't understand how they got to the name creepypasta to begin with.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, so all these stories are getting copied and pasted all over the internet multiple times. There's no way to really tell where the stories start. Some believe it started on a board on the site 4chan.
Okay.
And others believe it started with a 2001 creepypasta called Ted the Carver.
Okay. Interesting names.
Yeah. So, the creepypasta that may or may not have started this, summarized, is it essentially documents the adventures of a man and his friend as they go exploring this local cave.
Okay.
So, the story is like blog posts, so you click through and read them all, as if he is writing them down and telling the sequence of events.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
Which I don't know why, but blog posts makes it so much scarier. So then, as these explorers start to move further into the cave, they start seeing strange hieroglyphics, and winds are encountered. In the final blog post, Ted writes that him and his companions would be bringing a gun into the cave after experiencing a series of nightmares and hallucinations, as well as an encounter of what is presumed to be a supernatural being. The blog has not been updated since the final post, and they had gone back to confront the being. Ooh, yikes.
Spooky.
One of the most famous characters to come out of creepypasta is none other than Slender Man.
Ooh.
Do you know about Slender Man?
I do, yes.
Yeah, so he's creepy.
Very. He became popular around the time that we were in high school, like early high school.
Yeah.
'Cause we were still in the same state.
Yeah, I remember it was weird. People were way too into it. I'm like, isn't this supposed to be like a scary thing?
Yeah.
Why are you so obsessed with him?
I remember people were dressing up as him for Halloween.
So if you don't know who Slender Man is, Slender Man was created in 2009 on a forum called Something Awful. He is depicted as a thin, unnaturally tall humanoid with faceless white head and face, wearing a black suit.
Yeah.
It's real ominous. Like, it's that thing where something you're like, that's too big. You're too tall for it to be natural.
I mean, to be honest, the first thing that goes to my head is Jack Skellington from The Nightmare Before Christmas. But the fact that he doesn't have a face.
Yeah, well, and like his arms are too long and his legs are too long for his body.
Yeah.
It's just too much. So this character was actually the cause of a stabbing.
Oh, I did not know that.
So on May 31st, 2014, in... I'm going to try this, and I'm sure I'm going to fail pronouncing the name of this. Waukesha? Waukesha?
I have no idea.
Waukesha, Wisconsin? We'll go with that.
I feel like that's too many vowels.
Waukesha?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm going with Waukesha. So, on May 31st, 2014, in Waukesha, Wisconsin, two girls, Anissa Weber and Morgan Geyser, lured their friend Peyton Lautner into a forest and stabbed her 19 times in an attempt to appease Slender Man.
Some friend.
Yeah. Peyton crawled to a road where she was found by cyclists and taken to the hospital. Peyton spent 7 days in the hospital but lived.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And ended up perfectly fine. Like, that September, she went back to school. This happened at the end of May. She went back to school in September.
Oh god, how would you... I'd be so traumatized to go back to school.
Badass girl. She got it. She crawled to help. She got herself saved. Yeah, if she didn't crawl to help, she probably would have died.
Probably. Wow. Her friends offered her up to a fictional character.
Around 5 hours later, Anissa and Morgan were apprehended near Interstate 94 after walking 4.9 miles. The knife that they had used in the stabbing was in the bag they were carrying.
They're not very bright girls, are they?
They're 12.
Wow.
Right? Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, 12. They are 12. These are all 12-year-old girls.
Wow. Okay. I did not see that coming.
Yeah. Their goal was to meet Slender Man at his mansion called Slender Mansion in the Nicollet National Forest, roughly a 200-mile hike from their location.
Wow. They were gonna
go to Slender Man's mansion.
Were they planning on hiking that?
Yeah. They were going to walk the whole way. They had walked 4.9 miles already.
Wow, these really aren't bright girls.
Again, they are 12.
Still, I feel like even at 12 we were smarter than that.
It's insane. So, during their interviews, Morgan was described as feeling no empathy, while Anissa was described as guilty for stabbing the victim.
Huh.
But both felt the attack was needed to appease Slender Man. What? What do you mean? He's not real.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Wow. I wonder what they think of that today.
I don't know.
Because that was almost 10 years ago. And the fact that now they'll be 22.
Oh, just wait. Hold on.
Oh,
okay. So, Alto P. Slender Man, which is weird. Because, again, fictional character.
Yes.
Why?
Not very bright.
What? Well, I just don't understand how you got from point A to point B. Or, it's not even point B, A to point B. Point A to point X.
Yeah.
I don't... So, apparently, no one else did also. Because both girls were found not guilty by mental disease or defect and committed to mental health institutions for sentences of 25 to life and 40 to life. So essentially, like, the girl who felt remorse about the victim got the lighter sentence. And the one that had no empathy at the time of interviews got the higher sentence.
Okay.
Yeah. So after 7 years, Anissa was actually granted early release and will be under supervision until age 37.
Is that the one that was a psycho, or...?
That's the one who had
guilty.
Empathy for the victim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm just like, holy shit. Like, what got into these 12-year-olds' minds that they went, we need to stab her 19 times to then go to this fake mansion?
I really would like to know. They're thought process and, like, if there are any interviews out there since one of them has been released. And, like,
yeah. I don't know, but it's wild. That's, like, I wanted to do this case, but it's such a small case.
Yeah.
That I'm like, there's no way that I can tie a whole story into it. Okay, well, now, since you usually creep me out with creepy facts.
Yes, I do.
It is now time for me to terrify you with some creepypasta.
Let's see if you can try.
Okay. So, this one has 2 names, because again, anonymity posted all over.
Right.
Things can change. This one is called Portraits or The Cabin in the Woods.
I don't like either title.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. You ready? Strap in.
Sure.
Okay, so this one is called Portraits or Cabin in the Woods.
Okay. Don't like either of those names already, but...
It's so good.
Okay.
Here we go. There was a hunter in the woods who, after a long day of hunting, was in the middle of an immense forest. It was getting dark, and having lost his bearings, he decided to head in one direction until he was clear of the increasingly oppressive foliage. After what seemed like hours, he came across a cabin in a small clearing. Realizing how dark it had grown, he decided to see if he could stay the night. He approached and found the door ajar. Nobody was inside. The hunter flopped down on the single bed, deciding to explain himself to the owner in the morning. As he looked around, he was surprised to see the walls adorned by many portraits, all painted in incredible detail. Without exception, they appeared to be staring down at him, their features twisted into looks of hatred. Oh. Staring back, he grew increasingly uncomfortable. Making a concentrated effort to ignore the many hateful faces, he turned to face the wall and, exhausted, fell into a restless sleep. Facing down in an unfamiliar bed, he turned, blinking into an unexpected sunlight. Looking up, he discovered that the cabin had no portraits, only windows.
Wait, what?
There were no portraits. There were only windows. There were people staring in at him.
Like that.
Staring in at him in this empty cabin with a single bed.
Nope. No, thank you.
But do you see what I mean? Like, they have a level of, oh, that could actually happen. Oh, fuck, okay.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah.
Yes, these are all things where they
I forgot, but
yeah.
Yes. Oh, gosh.
That's part of what makes them creepy. Is their
like
level of realism.
I don't like that.
I love it. You want to hear another one?
Sure.
Great. Okay, so this next one's called Lightning. What do you think it's going to be about?
Lightning?
Mm-hmm. I can't wait for... This one got me. I was like, aw, this is a nice story. I like the title of this. Okay, here we go.
Oh, this really is payback, huh?
Yes.
Oh, look of evil on her face right now.
We had just moved into a little ranch house in the suburbs. Storybook neighborhood. Quiet, friendly neighbors, picket fences, the whole 9 yards. Suffice to say that this was supposed to be a new start for me, a recently single dad, and my 3-year-old son. At the time to move on from the previous year drama and stress. I viewed the thunderstorm as a metaphor for a fresh start. One last show of theatrics before the dirt and grime of the past would be washed away. My son loved it anyways, even with the power out. It was the first big storm he had ever seen. Flashes of lightning flooded the bare rooms of our house, imparting unpacked boxes with long creepy shadows. He jumped and squealed as the thunder boomed. It was well past his bedtime before he finally settled enough to go to sleep. The next morning I found him wide awake smiling. I watched the lightning from my window, he proudly announced. A few mornings later he told me the same thing. You're silly, I said. It didn't storm last night. You were only dreaming. Oh, he said, seemingly somewhat disheartened. I ruffled his hair and told him not to worry. There should be There should be another storm soon. Then it became a pattern. He would tell me how he watched lightning outside his window at least twice a week, despite there being no storms. Reoccurring dreams of the first memorable thunderstorm, I figured. It's easy to hate myself in hindsight. Everybody assures me there's nothing I could have done. No way I could have known. I'm supposed to be the guardian of my child, and these are useless words of comfort. I constantly relive that morning. Making my coffee, pouring milk over my cereal, and picking up the newspaper to read about the pedophile local authorities had just arrested. It was front page stuff. Apparently this guy would select a young target, usually a boy, stake out the house for a while, and take flash photos of them through their window while they slept. Sometimes he did more. My stomach sank as the connection was made. At the time, it was merely something from a child's imagination. In retrospect, it was the scariest thing I've ever heard. About a week before the predator caught, my son came up to me in his pajamas. "Guess what?" he asked. "What?" "No more lightning in my window?" I played along. "Oh, that's nice. It finally died down, huh?" "No, now it's in my closet." I've yet to see the photos the police have collected. Jenny's face is fantastic right now.
That took a very dark turn.
I told you it was a wild one. I heard that one and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? What?
Okay, well now we know that if the kids ever come to us and say that they watched lightning from their window,
we'd be very, very concerned.
Yes.
I know, I listened to that and I was like, and this is why you never tell your children that they are wrong.
Yeah.
They are never wrong. They are always correct little children.
Oh, that one sent chills down my spine.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks.
Okay, so for this final one, it's called I Sat on the Bus. Are you ready?
I Sat on the Bus?
Mm-hmm. Aren't these titles so wholesome? Like, they don't give off any type of vicious foreboding at all.
I mean, all I picture in my mind's eye is like someone sitting on a bus, like a giant person sitting on top of a bus. Does that make sense?
Yes, but why? I'm picking up what you're putting down. What I'm not picking up is the why.
Honestly, man, I don't know.
Honestly, I have no answers. But
I sat on a bus.
You are all vibes, no thoughts right now.
Absolutely.
So I sat on a bus. It's
I sat on a bus, okay.
So chill and innocent.
Sure.
You sit on buses all the time. We don't.
No, we don't.
But
no.
We don't live in a bus town.
No.
But, like, it's just a calm thing to do. Alright, here we go.
Okay, yeah, let's go.
I sat on the bus on my way to school, listening to music and paying little to no attention to the other students. At one of my stops, my mind snapped back to reality. I looked towards the small house. Tommy's house, I thought. A hand slipped out of the drapes in the window and waved to the bus driver to move on. He's sick, I thought, paying no large amount of attention to the situation. The day flew by. I watched the local news channel after school and heard...
I don't like where this is going already.
I watched the local news channel after school and what I heard paralyzed me.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
Tommy's entire family was murdered that day by an unknown suspect.
Yup, that's exactly where my head went. Okay.
After hearing the news, I moved back up to my room and quietly fell asleep. The next day, I sat on the bus. We drove past Tommy's house, and the bus driver, unaware of Tommy's family's fate, stopped at his home.
Oh, I don't like where this is going still.
As I was about to get up and explain to her what had happened, something caught my eye. A pale hand slipped out of the drapes and waved the bus driver to move on. I sat on the bus,
No.
terrified.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so for you, which of those three was the spookiest?
That one.
Oh, mine was the lightning one.
Well, you have kids.
That's true. But yeah, those were fun to read. So mind you, these are the ones that I picked. I also had to terrify myself with ones that I did not pick.
Oh, I'm glad you did that. You know, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to sleep tonight as it is. So,
you are lucky I didn't show you pictures.
Please don't.
Because some of the pictures that pop up when you are typing in creepypasta stories into your search history are jarring. And I don't get scared too much.
Yeah.
But I saw them and I was like, oh, okay. Like I had to clutch my pearls moment.
That was a very nice reenactment.
Thank you. 100% what happened. I like clutched my pearls and everything because I canonically just wear pearls all the time.
Always.
All the time.
You know, just in case you ever have to clutch them.
Exactly. But yeah, that was creepypasta.
Well, that definitely was, wasn't it?
You certainly did something there.
Yes, you did. That was, well, thank you for that, Jess.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much sleep do you think you're gonna get after those?
Probably like a 4. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, probably like a 4. But to be quite honest, I haven't been sleeping all that great as it is, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't feel too bad then. Just a little bit.
I mean, you still should, but...
I won't. It's fine.
You know. Okay, well, are we ready for my disturbing fact now?
Nope. But you're gonna tell me anyways.
I mean, you terrified me tonight, so I should terrify you, right?
But you do it all the time. That's...
That is true. I do that all the time, don't I?
You said doo-doo. Ha
ha. What are you, 4?
Yes. I am 4.5, actually. Get it right.
Alrighty, we ready for my disturbing fact?
No, but you're gonna tell me anyways, so
Yes,
I guess let's get it over with.
Yes, I am.
I got to terrify you a little bit, and now you're just giving payback, even though this was supposed to be my payback, but you know, here we are.
You know, that's how our shows always end, so we still have to do it.
Yeah.
So, we talked a lot about, you know, people unaliving other people tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, well, here's a little fact.
Okay.
There is a 1 in 3 chance police will never identify your murderer if you
Oh, I don't like that.
are murdered in the U.S.
If I get murdered, will you avenge me? Tell me right now that you'll avenge me.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
With a sword?
I mean, I'd try, but,
Oh, okay.
you know,
As long as you try.
I still kind of want to avoid jail time.
Why? I'll be dead. What else are you gonna do? You have other friends to hang out with?
I have your kids to take care of, bitch.
That's fair. What are you gonna do? I'll get murdered after they're grown. That's...
There we go.
But yeah, I don't like that. Like, I always have a fear that I'm gonna get, like, kidnapped or murdered, so I...
That is such a weird fear.
Why is it a weird fear?
I don't know, it just is.
But yeah, I'm already afraid of that, so the fact that I might not be avenged is, scary. So you just have to avenge me.
I do have to avenge you, yes.
Yeah.
So
I'd avenge you.
I know you would. But the thing is that I would hope that you'd still keep yourself out of jail.
Well, yeah, I'm not stupid.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I had the
Have you
opportunity...
not met me?
Yes, I know, but I'm saying if I have the opportunity to avenge you with a sword, I would take it.
Okay.
But
it's a messy method of killing.
Exactly.
I gotcha. It's...
You know...
If we're gonna do it, we're gonna poison them.
I mean, I could decapitate them, with
That'd
the
be
sword,
cool.
and then just dissolve their body in acid.
I like your thinking.
Yeah. So, you know,
we have options. There's options.
Exactly.
We love to be creative here. But yeah, so I guess thank you for that information.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's one more thing I can, like, hyper obsess my anxiety on.
Yeah, you're welcome. I mean, you gave me anxiety to sleep for tonight, so
You're welcome.
So, least I could do.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
So, if you like whatever the fuck this is, you can go on over to our Instagram. Over there you can find our link tree that'll link to our Spotify, to our Patreon, to our Amazon wishlist, and best of all, our campfire stories. If you haven't sent in your campfire stories and don't know what you're doing yet, we are doing a special listener episode of Campfire Stories for our special Halloween episode that is just for you, and we can't wait. So with that, stay extra spooky during the spooky season, read Creepypasta, and
not before bed.
You should read it before bed. 100% look up pictures. It's better with the pictures.
Oh, okay.
And keep on keeping on. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.